I've had these for a couple weeks now. I have them for another week, maybe 2 weeks at the most, because they got to go back, they got to get ready, they got to get polished, they got to get disinfected from all the caviness before the Toronto Audio Show. First thing I want to say is, Lii-song Canada, thank you so much for letting me play with the Origin S10s and the Liionidas Extreme Open Baffles. Thank you. So let's start with the Origin S10. We're going to get some things out of the way first. A full range driver does not behave and perform the same way a two-way or three-way speaker does. It just doesn't. It's a different type of sound. There's pros and cons on both sides. A full range driver, a single full range driver, regardless if it's an open baffle, regardless if it's in a box, in my experience, excels at certain types of music. Can the Origin S10s perform every single genre, every single song to their best? No, they cannot. If you are a fan of vocals, acoustic music, jazz, blues, classical, but simple classical, not orchestral type of classical music. When you listen to these
with a quality amplifier, tubes or solid state,
doesn't matter, you are in for an intimate treat of an experience. That's right. There's no tweeters, but with these, with the silver 10s, you will get that crackling detail and saliva as a singer. You will get that. You will get the feel that the singer or the guitar player or the cello player or the stand-up bass or the drummer is sitting in front of you. Some tracks might even feel like you're on stage with them, sitting in your own chair and have the audience behind you. Yes. So Thomas came by. If you haven't seen Thomas's video on the Lii-song audio speakers, go check it out. It's in the link below. I'm going to share a little bit of the unedited, unused conversation pieces that him and I had when listening to the Origin S10s. I'll come back right after.
Finish listening, and we're going to share with you our first impression. But before that, Loic, can you please reenact my reaction when I heard that deep bass for the first time?
Okay, I wasn't expecting you to ask that. Hold on.
What was my... It's too bad we didn't film it.
Oh, that's impressive.
Really? I thought my mouth was open. Like
what? Well, it was open, but okay. I don't think you realize the face you make yourself when you're impressed.
Yeah.
You have a face that's camera, and then there's your natural face, which is always business. So when you go, I know it's awesome.
Yeah.
It says, oh, I can feel it.
I was like, Loic played this track where there's really, really deep bass, and I can feel the bass all the way to the back. And that's where I go like, holy cow, whoa.
Everybody's leaving town. Some kind of freight, some kind of plane.
Man, I got a feeling for this. Okay, yeah.
I found that the instruments felt a little smaller in their own respective corners of the soundstage. And actually, that's one of the differences I noticed a lot between a Sibelius speaker, which was using a smaller full range driver and a very different type of cabinet than the Lii-song was.
Yeah.
Is that items in the soundstage don't feel as large as they do with the Origin S10, but that's not a bad or a good thing, right? This is a
Right.
complete preference thing. I have buddies that come over, and since I've went to the full range big drivers, they find it that to them it's exaggerated the size, and to me it's not. To me, that's what I like. I like a lifelike size of a drum in front of me of a cello. But because of that, you might get that feeling sometimes that things overlap a little bit in the soundstage. You can still differentiate them, but if you have to position them, you feel like the things are closer together. Whereas with the Sibelius, things were smaller, but man, there was, you could, like, things was down there, another thing was down there, another thing was up here. You could really see like the space, but all the individual items didn't have that huge feel. Everything was tame, and I guess the word respectful comes to mind. It was very, like, nothing was popping out in your face. It was a more, why do the typical words come to mind when you try to describe sound? Like words like refined. They're both refined, but they're different refined.
Yeah, true. I find the Sibelius sounds less like a single driver speaker. These ones has the characteristic of it, and in a good way, right? Because that's why we listen to single driver speakers. You want that forward, a bit shouty. Not shouty is not the right word. It's a bit more presence in the mid range.
Yeah.
Right. So that the person is more like, yeah, you can really hear the person. Oh, more intimate.
Yes, that's the word.
Right.
That's why he's a pro and I'm not. I'm here to have fun. So, quick recap. They're much prettier in person than they are in the pictures. The pictures do not do justice to these. Seriously. Okay, it's not a $40,000 piano finish. No. But it's $4,000 for a pair. I'm so happy I discovered Lii-song speakers. All right, so you're into jazz, you're into vocals, you're into acoustic music, blues, sonatas, like, so that's I guess you'd call it classical light. It's classical music, but usually 1, 2, or 3 instruments. Boy, do these shine! They really do. When Thomas says intimate feeling, you close your eyes, and it's really like you're getting your own little private performance. And heck, the great part about Lii-song audio, or Lii-song, or Lee audio, is that you don't want the big box. All you gotta do is order one of these and build your own. Beautiful, beautiful drivers. Yep. Guess what I did? Yeah, so you guys want to see these live? I'm not sure which ones are going to be playing at the show, if it's going to be the Origin S10s or if it's going to be the Liionidas. If they're using a Galion TS120 amplifier, I will put my money on they will be demoing the Liionidas open baffles, because the match with the Galion is a heck of a lot of fun. It really is. But yeah, I absolutely in love with these speakers. They made me love the Silver 10s. So now I'm going to have fun with a combination of Silver 10s, F15s, and W15 in my future build. So, come check it out. Come say hi. I'll be at the Toronto show in the room with Thomas and with Lii-song. We'll be there most likely Friday afternoon and Saturday most of the day. And come say hi. Come tell me how much I suck. And if you want, if Thomas says okay, you'll get a lap dance. Am I done? When do I get paid?